Hello and welcome to a trash summary of Week 19 in the Overwatch League, plus the community MVP results from this week. I'm sorry for this video taking a while to get out. I've been busy in the past week, and I'll also note I will not be saying what the map scores were in the matches anymore to help shorten the video so people can see the summary and get on their way. The primary highlights from this week were Sparkle debuting for the Paris Eternal, Shanghai going to first spot in the standings, and Philadelphia continuing their great regular season game run. Moving on to the first match, the London Spitfire were defeated by the Shanghai Dragons 0-3. This left London at 4 wins, 6 losses, a map differential of -10, and it left them 15th. Shanghai were left at 15 wins, 2 losses, a positive 29 map differential, and they were left in first. Moving on to the community MVP votes, Fleta was gotten the 3 points at 70%, Fearless got the 2 points at 44%, and Void got the 1 point at 40%. On to the next match of the week. The New York Excelsior defeated the Seoul Dynasty 3-0. New York were left at 11 wins, 3 losses, a map differential of positive 21, and they were 4th in the standings. While Seoul were left at 6 wins and 5 losses, with a map ratio of -5, and they were left 10th in the standings. Moving on to the community MVP vote. Haxal got the 3 points with his percentage of 76.9, Nene got the 2 points with his percentage of 48.1, and Jonak got the 1 point with his percentage of 40.4. Moving on to the next match. Paris Eternal defeated the Boston Uprising 3-2. This left Paris' record at 8 wins and 5 losses with a map ratio of positive 6, and they were left in the standings at the end of the week at 7th. While Boston were left at 2 wins and 11 losses with a map ratio of -25, and they were left dead last in the standings in 20th at the end of the week. Moving on to the community MVP votes. Sparkle got the 3 points with his percentage of 87, Harnbin got the 2 points with his percentage of 33.3, and Tilda got the 1 point with his percentage of 22.2. Moving on to the next match of the week. The Florida Mayhem defeated the Dallas Fuel 3-1. This left Florida's record at 10 wins, 4 losses, a map ratio of positive 11, and 5th in the standings. While Dallas were left at 4 wins, 7 losses, a map ratio of -7, and they were 16th in the standings. Moving on to the community MVP votes. Yaki got the 3 points with his percentage of 70, BQB got the 2 points with his percentage of 60, and Gargoyle got the 1 point with his percentage of 40. Moving on to the next match. The Atlanta Reign were defeated by the Los Angeles Gladiators 1-3. This left the Reign's record at 5 wins and 6 losses with a map ratio of positive 3, and they were left 12th in the standings. While the Gladiators were left at 5 wins and 5 losses with a map ratio of 0, they were left 11th in the standings. Moving on to the community MVP votes. Birdring got the 3 points with his percentage of 63.8, Space got the 2 points with his percentage of 55.3, and LH Cloudy got the 1 point with his percentage of 38.3. Moving on to the next match of the week. The Philadelphia Fusion defeated the Houston Outlaws 3-0. This left the Fusion's record at 14 wins, 1 loss, a map ratio positive 22nd, and left them 2nd in the standings. While Houston were left at 5 wins and 10 losses, with a map ratio of -12, and they were left 14th in the standings. Moving on to the community MVP votes. Carpe got the 3 points with his percentage of 69.8, Alarm got the 2 points with his percentage of 43.4, and Hisu got the 1 point with his percentage of 26.4. Moving on to the next match. The Vancouver Titans were defeated by the Toronto Defiant 0-3. This left Vancouver's record at 2 wins, 7 losses, a map ratio of -15, and they were left 19th in the standings. While Toronto were left at 5 wins, 8 losses, a map ratio of -3, and they were left 13th in the standings. Onto the community MVP votes. Griff got the 3 points with his percentage of 50.9, Logix got the 2 points with his percentage of 39.6, and Shawfall got the 1 point with his percentage of 35.8. Moving on to the final match of the week. The Los Angeles Valiant defeated the Washington Justice 3-0. This left the Valiant's record at 7 wins and 6 losses with a map ratio of -1, and they were left 8th from the standings. While the Justice were left at 3 wins and 11 losses with a MAF ratio of -19, they were left 19th in the standings. Moving on to the community MVP votes. Shax got the 3 points with his percentage of 86.3, KSP got the 2 points with his percentage of 56.9, and Dreamer got the 1 point with his percentage of 27.5. Moving on to the Overwatch League standings. Shanghai are up 1 spot into first. Philadelphia Fusion are down 1 spot into second. The Shock remain in third. The Excelsior remain in fourth, and the Mayhem remain in fifth. The Charge are up 1 spot to sixth. The Paris Eternal down 1 spot to seventh, while the Valiant are up 3 spots to eighth. The Spark are up 1 to ninth, and the Dynasty are down 1 to 10th. The Gladiators are up 1 to 11th, and the Reign are down 4 to 12th. The Defiant are up 3 to 13th, and the Outlaws are up 1 to 14th. The Spitfire are down 2 to 15th, and the Fuel are also down 2 to 16th. Chengdu remain in 17th, while the Justice are up 1 spot to 18th. The Titans are down 1 spot to 19th, and the Uprising remain in 20th. Moving on to the community MVP standings. Carpe remains in first on 35 points. Fleta remains in second on 28 points. And Nero remains in third on 20 points. Yaki is up 2 spots to fourth on 19 points, while Decay and Lip are both on 18 points and both down 1 spot to fifth. KSP is up 1 spot to fifth on 18 points, while Jonak is down 2 spots to eighth on 17 points, while Jinmu is down 3 spots to ninth on 16 points, while XC, Gooseway, and Birdring are all on 15 points, tied in 10th. If you want to read the top 10 for the DPS, tank, and support, pause the video now and read them. Thank you to the 63 people who voted in this week's Community MVP poll, and thank you to everyone who's watched this video, and please subscribe for more.